if I was to tell my stepfather that raised me when I was younger, that I'm in a point in my life where I'm paying somebody to cut my grass, I'm sure that would come with quite the lecture. Hey everybody, Randy here with Stay Broke Business Consulting. Welcome to day 21 of building $1 million business in 1 year. Just got done mowing the grass again, and it took forever. We have a pretty large area to mow, and it took forever because I haven't cut it since the last video I did, which means it's about a week overdue. We've been getting so much rain, it's been hard to find time. But while I'm mowing it, I'm answering messages because, I wear my big headphones and listen to podcasts or listen to whatever while I'm mowing, and I hear messages coming through, so I'm checking, and it's people messaging Stay Broke Business Consultant, asking questions, and it's like, I've been wrestling with this for a while. The reason I started cutting my own grass again was because I had some time available in my schedule, and I couldn't justify paying other people to do it, but now I don't have time anymore, and today was really proof of that. So it's like, I talk about in these videos about knowing the value of your time, and once you put a value on your time and start looking at what you're doing that way, like what else could I be doing during this time that's making me money instead of saving me money? Might seem counterintuitive to the general message of stay broke, but I always tell people I'm in the business of making money, not saving money, which to me that means, and it can be taken out of context, I'm sure, but to me that just means evaluating my time and value, and is there other things I can be doing during that time that are going to make me more money than I'm going to save by doing it myself, if that makes sense. So I'm at that point again. It's like, dang, I need to find somebody to start mowing my grass again, because if I can be answering messages and doing work and enjoying time with my family, or, whatever it might be, like there's definitely things that I can do. But where I come from, it's, it's one of those, it's a manly thing. It's your role. If I was to tell my stepfather that raised me when I was younger, that I'm in a point in my life where I'm paying somebody to cut my grass, I'm sure that would come with quite the lecture. But that's another topic for another day. So, that's the thing I think about, though. Like, man, I can always make time to do it, but then when I'm doing it, it's like, what else could I be doing during this time? So, knowing your value. And when I started doing that, because I grew up, you do everything yourself. You learn how to do everything, fix everything, and you do it. And if you don't know how to do it, you find somebody that does and get them to teach you how to do it. And, that's carried me a long way in life. But at the same time, there's some things that I'm just not great at because I haven't had the time and experience doing it. And if I would just pay somebody to handle that situation, it would get done a lot quicker, a lot more efficiently, and probably a lot better. So getting away from doing my own projects around the house that never seem to get finished because of my pride. Getting away from cutting the grass, which needed an extra cut in between when I found time to do it. Like all these things, like balancing that role in the house and my role at work. But also, like, my kids seeing me pay for stuff too. That's the other side of it. It's like they see me being able to afford things that I never saw people afford growing up. So to me, it's like, man, paying for these extra things, it just seems ridiculous. Like we did this ourselves growing up. But for them, they see me paying other people to do it, and now that's what they consider normal. And now it's kind of fun watching my oldest daughter move out. And this is the first time we've had to deal with that as parents, is her being out on her own and helping her with her budget, and then her seeing what it actually costs to pay an electric bill, or, what you have to do to keep things going, taking her own car to the shop, like all these different things. It's kind of interesting to see, but it also made me realize that, man, I need to make sure my kids know that they need to have reasonable expectations, because I didn't get the freedom to start paying for things until I was paying for tasks that I'm capable of doing myself, until I was well into my 30s. And some of them I still haven't given up into my 40s. And I feel like for my kids, they're just expecting, when they move out of the house, just all this stuff's just magically going to get taken care of. And so how do we deal with that? I don't know. Now that my next two kids are getting of working age, trying to push them into working during their summer breaks, or whatever I can do to start getting them to understand how hard we work for the things we have, I think is super important. Because ultimately, I want my kids to be successful, figure out what success means to them, and be successful. It would be nice to have one or more of them take over the family businesses and attached to what I'm doing, but I'm not going to push any of them that way. For sure. They got to figure this stuff out on their own, but I also want to guide them and make sure that they have as good of a understanding of the world as possible as they're heading out into the real world. If I can just give them a leg up on everybody else, then I'll feel like I've done my job. Really learn what I have to offer and jump in with us wholeheartedly. That would be amazing, because then I know what's going to happen in the future. But, we have a long way to go. I'm dealing with my kids from 18 down to 7, so we got a lot of time to figure that stuff out. But still, it's just instilling those values that I think are getting lost in our society, making sure that my kids have values and have the ability to, but still I need to make sure that they understand what I do. And for my older kids, they've seen my ups and downs and my struggles as an entrepreneur, but for the younger kids, all they see is success, and that's hard to get them to understand when they haven't been through it with us themselves. So let me know what y'all think, especially if you're an entrepreneur with kids and trying to set an example. Let me know what you guys do. Comment down below, like, follow, subscribe, and remember, stay broke.